Hello guys, I hope you're all doing great. Welcome to another YouTube video, and in this one I'm going to be breaking down exactly how you can start charging more for your very own high ticket offer or high ticket services. And the strategies which I'm going to break down in this video are the exact same ones which I use myself personally to go from generating payments like these, which were a couple hundred, 500 max, to then charging premium prices like this, which was a couple thousand, and the biggest sale which I closed was £6,000, which is around 7.5k USD for my high ticket offer. Okay. And yeah, you guys can actually see my live transformation of the kind of payments that I was generating at the start of my Instagram journey to then, last year and even this year, what kind of payments I was generating. If you want to see that live, then you can go to my Instagram, which is at CEO Victor, and go to the My Results highlight, and you'll be able to see these exact same payments which I posted over here, these screenshots. I posted exactly the same ones at the very start of my journey. This is kind of the first payments that I was getting. And then you can see the gradual way I was able to increase my prices by following the strategies and the systems which I'm going to be showing you guys in this video. So in order to charge higher for your offer, these are the main things that you need to have in place. Okay. So first up is the perceived likelihood of achievement. People need to feel confident and believe that you can actually help them. And there's a couple of things which you can do in order to get them there. So I'm going to be going through this in much more detail below. You need to make sure that your offer is actually a good product market fit. There's so many people that try and sell something that the market doesn't even need, and that's probably a big reason why you can't charge those more premium prices, because people don't have a real need towards it. Having clear deliverables, that's another reason why sometimes you can't charge higher prices, is because you don't even know your own deliverables. So how is your client meant to know them? And then having a strong guarantee to top of your offer, and this is going to be just like the final icing of the cake to tie everything together. Okay, so now let's dive into each part of this in more detail. So first up is going to be increasing the perceived likelihood of achievement. And the way you can do that is by following this simple value equation. So the value equation is basically their dream outcome times their perceived likelihood of achievement divided by time delay times by the effort and sacrifice needed to get there. So let me give you guys an example. So let's say someone's dream outcome is making 10k per month, right? And their perceived likelihood of achievement is their belief that they can actually get to that 10k per month. So you want to divide that by time delay. So let's say you can make 10k per month within, let's say, 90 days, and then the effort and sacrifice they think is going to take to get there. And that is basically going to be your perceived value. So you want to basically have each part of your offer as strong as possible in order to maximize the value. So you want to make their dream outcome big enough for when they're really excited to hit it, but also realistic enough so that they can actually feel like they can get there, right? So if you say that if you say that they can get to, for example, 100k per month within 30 days, then that ticks the dream outcome. Yeah, everyone wants to make 100k per month, but their perceived likelihood of achievement is going to be very, very low, because that's just almost impossible to do, right? And also the time delay is going to be very, very low as well, because no one's going to be able to get there in 30 days, and they're going to think that's going to take a lot of work, a lot of effort in order to get there. So you basically want to make this as balanced as possible. You want to make sure the dream outcome and the perceived likelihood of achievement is high enough when they're excited to get there, but also realistic enough so that they can feel they can actually get there. And also the time delay. You want to make this, a kind of middle ground where they feel like it's, short enough where they want to make that investment because they feel like it's close, but also not too long. For example, if I told someone that they can make 10k per month in the next 2 years, they probably wouldn't get too excited, right? They probably wouldn't want to join because that's just way too far. And then the effort and sacrifice is the steps required and the effort required from their side in order to actually get there. Okay, so if they want to get to 10k per month, but they need to work, 12 hours a day, every single day, Monday to Friday for the next 3 months straight, then that is probably going to put them off, and that's going to make the overall value of your offer lower. So your job is basically to, like I said, make every single part of this value equation as balanced as possible. So to give you guys an example of an actual strong offer which I used to run in the market, let's say dream outcome, which is 2 to 5k per month within the next 120 days, and all you have to do is apply this 5-step system. Okay, So that is a very high value equation because every 9 to 5 worker wants to make an extra 2 to 5K per month. It sounds realistic. I'm not saying anything insane, which they might not believe is possible. 120 days is pretty fair for that kind of transformation. They could wait there and they feel like that's fast enough as well. And a simple 5 step process makes them know that it's not going to take 12 hours a day, but it's going to be simple 5 steps, 1 to 2 hours per day, which they need to commit in order to get there. Okay, so that was the kind of offer I was running back in the day, and it worked very well. We were able to get some good results with it, and we got people to that 2 to 5K per month mark a lot of the times as well. So you need to make sure this is actually going to be realistic to what you can actually fulfill for your clients as well. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get good results. Okay, so that's the very first step you want to do, is create your very own value equation, which matches your offer. Next up is going to be any done for you or done with you aspects which you can add into your offer. And this is just going to increase the likelihood of achievement because people are going to see that there's certain things that you can help them with directly. It's going to lower their effort and lower their sacrifice because you can basically hold their hand along the way. And it's going to also lower the time delay. If there's done for you or done with you aspects into your offer, it's going to just really boost this value equation a lot. So, for example, some done for you or done with you aspects, which I included back in the day, would be like a done for you funnel, where my team would go in and build a whole funnel out for you. We also had scripts, like custom scripts, so we would go ahead and create custom scripts for people because that was also a big bottleneck in the market. People didn't really know how to create scripts or what to say in the DMs. We also had high quality clips. So we would have a folder of like 3,000 viral clips and viral reels, which people could use as soon as they enter the program. That would also help a lot of the beginners because, a big bottleneck at the start was finding viral clips or finding viral content, understanding what goes viral. So, little things like that you can include in your own offer as well. So, for example, if you're running a fitness offer, you can have like a done with you custom diet plan. When you go onto a call with them, you understand their direct kind of macros that they need, and then you can create something custom. So that's just one example from the top of my head. Those are kind of some examples with my own offer back in the day. But yeah, including done for you or done with the aspects, whatever kind of niche you're in, will just help you balance out the value equation and increase the perceived value of your offer. Like I said, so yeah, that's another one. Social proof. We can talk about how to charge more for an offer. Probably the easiest way to do that is by having more social proof. So if you can get more results for your clients, if you can get more results for yourself, if you can get more client testimonials, client interviews, etc., and you can boost your social proof, then you can charge higher prices. Because at the end of the day, having the best client results in the market and strong word of mouth is probably one of the most powerful marketing tools out there. So if you can genuinely provide people insane results, you can easily charge higher for your offer. So that's also one thing you want to look at, is how can you actually get better results for your clients. And one thing to do that with is quick wins. How can you get quick wins for your clients? What kind of strategies do they need to apply, kind of prioritize to apply straight away to be able to maximize the amount of quick wins they get? Skip irrelevant steps. So if you have like a long offer where you're talking about a lot of theory, a lot of mindset, remove it or just add it to the bottom of your offer and really focus on the most important core steps which someone needs to take in order to achieve the quickest transformation possible. Because speed and quick wins is what attracts people to work with you, right? That's what's going to make people want to pay the more premium price. If someone can get someone to, let's say 10K per month, 3 months quicker than a different coach, they will more than likely want to pay more to achieve the same result quicker because people value speed. People want results. So think of a way that you can apply quicker wins into your community, into your program. And another way of doing that as well is by setting deadlines, having strict deadlines and having a clear custom action plan where you give people a certain amount of time to complete certain tasks in order to get certain results. So having that kind of accountability, those deadlines, those dates, is going to help you get quicker wins for your community. Okay, so this is the very first thing you can do to increase the price of your offer, is having a strong value equation, understanding what is going to make your offer more valuable, what's going to make it perceived as more valuable, including done for you or done with your aspects, having more social proof, and then implementing quick wins into your program. So that's the very first step. Next is going to be having the right product market fit. And to be honest, I would say this is one of the most common mistakes people make, is they sell a program or they sell a solution which the market doesn't even need. And that's why they are not able to charge premium prices, because If there's not a want for something, people are not going to be willing to pay a premium price for it. So that's why you need to do the market research. Okay, this is one of the biggest mistakes coaches make, which I said, and this is going to be the foundation of your entire business. If you're not doing the proper market research, if your product doesn't fit the market, if there's not a real need for your product in the market, then you're not going to be able to charge higher prices and you're not going to be able to make consistent sales. And that's the reality of the online coaching business. Okay, so you need to make sure to sit down and really do this correctly and make sure there is a real need for your product in the market, and make sure that you are targeting a specific client avatar, because this is going to give you infinite marketing angles and you can really leverage this in your story, your marketing, your content. And that is the reason why this is the foundation of your entire business. Because if you don't have a clear idea of who you're targeting with your offer, then you're going to struggle to create content which is custom towards your ideal client avatar. You're going to struggle to have a messaging angle with the DMs. You're going to struggle to make sales on the closing calls, because it all stems from attracting the right people towards your brand and actually having a specific avatar which you want to target. Okay. And these are the kind of questions you want to ask yourself when it comes to doing the market research. Okay, I'm not going to go through all of these right now, but you can just pause the video and ask you these questions in more detail so that you can better understand your ideal client avatar. And by doing the market research correctly, you're going to be able to really dial in and narrow down on those pain points which they're feeling, which is going to help you target them directly. You're going to be able to personally call them out in your content, in your marketing, and you want to be able to show other people how you and your clients have solved these pain points already. If you can show proof that you yourself have undergone through some pain and you've also been able to do that for other people, then that is really going to just boost the credibility that you have with your brand, and it's going to be able to make you charge those higher prices. Another thing you can do to increase the price of your offer is build sales assets. Give people value for free. I remember at the very start when I first started my online coaching journey, I was a little bit stingy with the kind of value that I would give out for free. I would always say, oh, this value is only for my paying customers. But once I switched my mindset to, let me just give people as much free value as I can so they can see that I know what I'm talking about, they can see that I'm an authority in the space, then I started attracting a lot more people. Because if you give people value for free, they can see that you can start solving their problem for free, then they'll be willing to pay you premium prices. Because if you're already helping them with free content, with free value, with free tips here and there, then they'll start to think like, damn, okay, imagine what I get if I actually start paying this guy, right? So that's the kind of mindset you want to have. And you can build sales assets. Number one, every sales asset what everyone should have would be a VSL, which is like a quick 10-15 minute video, which basically just talks a bit more about who you are, what you do, your personal transformation, the results that you've undergone. Again, I've got a video on my YouTube channel which goes over exactly how you can create your own VSL step by step. So I recommend you guys check that out if you haven't already. And then also any other free valuable resources that you can give to your audience. So this could be scripts, clip packs. It could be a free diet plan or a free workout program if you're a fitness coach. Literally anything that you can give out for free to your audience that will help them, solve a specific problem, and then you can follow up with them and see how you can then help them solve even more problems. Okay, and then having a unique mechanism. So a unique mechanism is basically your unique method of how you can get them from point A to point B, which is kind of unique to you, right? So this is going to be something different to what they've tried before. And this is going to be something that's going to make you stand out from the competition. So going back to an example of my old offer, one of my unique mechanisms was helping people make money on Instagram without having to show themselves online and without having to spend any money on ads. And that was my unique mechanism, because a lot of other people in the market, they were showing themselves to make money. So it wasn't really resonating with the introverts. And also they were spending a lot of money on ads. So they weren't making their money organically. So you want to think about your unique mechanism and what's going to help you stand out and what makes your solution unique. Because if you can think of a unique solution, then that is going to make people want to pay you the premium price rather than someone else. And next up is going to be deliverables. Okay, you want to have a clear deliverable sheet, which basically just outlines exactly what they get once they join you. And you want to make this very, very clear. And this is also another mistake a lot of people make, is they just waffle, and they don't have any clarity on exactly what deliverables they actually get if someone joins your team, right? So first of all, support and community. Okay, people always value having a community, having support. So you want to make sure to ensure them that they get support once they join you. And you want to build a strong community, almost like a cult or a brotherhood, where you're attracting people that are similar into the same community, because that's what's going to make it, just a lot more engaging. People are gonna, really bounce off each other's energy, and it's gonna make it more enjoyable for you as the person running it. Okay. So that's why it's important to do the market research properly, so that you have a clear ideal client avatar, and you'll be attracting similar people towards your community, which is going to help you build a strong community like that. And that's why you don't want to just let anyone in, because it's going to really like almost kill the community, kill the vibe of the community, and people are not going to really, click if there's so many different avatars just all in one place, right? So you want to build a strong community of like-minded individuals who have the same kind of interests, same hobbies, and have the same problems, and want to solve those problems to achieve a certain outcome. Okay. Next up, video modules. This is basically like a standard of every single course, every single offer. You want to have pre-recorded videos where you go over certain things, and yeah, you want to outline those key transformation modules. So whenever you're making your pitch, or you're in your deliverable sheet, you want to mention kind of like the key modules which you feel like are the ones that really help people the most, so that your ideal client avatar understands kind of what is going to be inside of those modules, and exactly the ones which are the most important for them. Group calls. This is where you discuss the most important topics together. It keeps your clients accountable because they're all in one call together. They can kind of see what questions people have. You can discuss people's goals in front of other people, and that gives them that extra motivation to be able to hit those goals, because now they have extra pressure and extra eyeballs on them, where they almost feel a little bit embarrassed if they don't do something before the next group call, right? And yeah, the first time that I started hosting group calls for my community, it just feels very, very fulfilling. Just sitting there answering questions, seeing people get a lot of value from it. So I definitely recommend, once you do start building up your offer, you do start signing more clients, definitely start implementing group calls in your offer as well. One-on-one calls, especially if you're starting out, one of the most valuable things that you can give to someone is your time. So if you don't have that many results, if you don't have that many case studies, then you need to be doing one-on-ones at the start, especially because that's what people value the most. They value that support, they value that customizability, and they value having that one-on-one time with you. And in those one-on-one calls, like I said, build them a custom roadmap. Make sure that they're crystal clear on the exact steps they need to take to get from point A to point B, and establish those one-on-one expectations of how often they get one-on-ones with you. Okay, so that could be once a week, once a month, once a quarter, whatever kind of your program is. However long the duration of the program is, you can make that expectation accordingly. And of course, as well, depends on how many clients you have. If you're only just starting out, then of course I would recommend do as many one-on-ones as possible to really just maximize the client wins, the client satisfaction. And then of course, as you keep growing, keep scaling, keep signing more clients, then of course you want to gradually lower that one-on-one time to actually help you scale, so you're not there doing one-on-one calls every single day with like 5-6 people at a time. Okay, so establish those expectations. And then last but not least is bonuses. So what else can you offer in your program that's gonna just boost that value equation, which we talked about at the start? So this could be pre-made scripts, this could be pre-made content, this could be a done for you funnel. So these are also kind of done for you or done with you things that you could include as a bonus. For example, access to your network, etc., etc. And then you want to basically just create a deliverable sheet which summarizes all of this. So using these examples, you can just have something like this: an 8-module video course, access to my private community, 24/7 support via messages, 2 group calls per week, a 90-day custom roadmap, monthly one-on-one check-in calls, and then bonuses, which is access to my network for hiring, custom scripts, viral packs, etc. And this was basically my exact deliverable sheet for one of the offers that I was running in the past, which generated me multi-6 figures. So you want to build your own deliverable sheet, which is something similar to this, which includes all of your deliverables all in one place, all listed very clearly, so that your ideal client avatar understands exactly what they get once they sign up with you. And then last but not least, just to really add that final icing on the cake and just to tie everything together, you want to add a guarantee. Okay, and the reason why you want to add a guarantee is because it just reverses all of the risk. It provides a massive safety net, and it basically makes your client feel stupid for saying no. Okay, and this is what is also going to allow you to charge those more premium prices without getting too many money objections. Because if you do this correctly and you structure your offer in a way where you're listing all these deliverables, you're showing the case studies, you've shown proof that you've done it yourself, you've done it for other people, and then after all of that, you just add a guarantee to show them that you're that confident in your offer. They will feel stupid for saying no, and that's why they can justify spending a more premium price to work with you, rather than spending a couple $100 to work with someone else. So some guarantee examples that you can add in your offer is, if you don't make X, which is the desired goal, in a Y time frame, we will give you a full refund and continue working with you until you do. Okay, so this is one of the most classic guarantees that you can do is, a refund. Or if you're not that confident in your offer yet, you don't want to offer a refund, then you can also do something like this, which is basically where you work with them until they hit a certain goal, and if not, they get free coaching until they do. So let's say, for example, the time frame of your offer is 6 months, and they don't reach their goal in 6 months, then you can assure them that that you'll continue working with them and you'll continue giving them support and value until they do. So they also have that kind of safety net where if they don't hit their goal in a certain amount of time, you're not going to just ditch them and move to the next client, but you keep supporting them along the way. So those are like the two most common guarantees. If you're confident in your offer, I would definitely recommend to have a full refund guarantee, because that basically shows your clients that you're confident, and it basically eliminates all risk, because if they don't hit a certain goal, then you'll just give them a refund. But of course, inside of the refund policy, you do want to make sure that they have to perform certain tasks and they need to actually put in the work in order for them to get the refund, so that you don't get left in a situation where you're putting your time and effort into a client, they're not really putting the work, and then you have to potentially give them a refund out of it. Okay, so those are the 4 things that you guys can apply into your offer right now in order to boost the price of your offer. And if you are a creator or you're a coach and you want more of my help to help you structure this offer and help you start charging more for your offer and help you scale to this consistent multi 5 figures per month, then feel free to click the link under this video where you can book a call with me and my team, and we can discuss exactly how we can help you. Now, we actually do help you guys on a pay and results basis as well. It's completely risk-free. So if we can't help you scale, you don't pay. If that does sound interesting, click the link below. Let's get a quick call schedule. Let's see exactly how we can help you. And if not, then just drop a like in this video, drop a subscribe, and I'm going to keep providing you guys with free value like this one so you guys can get even more help. Okay, so other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.